I'm alive, or so they say. I'd ask for a second opinion if I was you. Anyhow, uh, big story is the earthquake in Venezuela. We didn't feel anything from it. It's near the coast, the northern coast, so I guess it didn't travel down this way. It's a regular fault. It's not something that just happened spontaneously. They watch it closely, but they couldn't predict it. They got a seven. This is the opposite of what I usually hear about earthquakes. They got a 7.3 pre-shock, and then the main one hit 1 minute later, and 28 kilometers east was a 7.5. That's a big friggin' earthquake. Did a lot of damage because those aren't earthquake-proof buildings in that country. All right. Now I've felt a 5.9, a 6. I've been in the last big San Francisco, California, LA, which I think 7.6 or 7.7, something like that. I was a few miles away from the center of it. That collapsed the highway and whatnot, but I tell a story. We got out of the house because it sounded like a train or a tank drove down the street. When I go outside, the sidewalk looked like a puddle that somebody had dropped a rock in. It was just the street, the sidewalk, everything was going like that. And I said, that's it, I'm out of here. You know, I'm sorry, I'm not hanging around. You know, Bill, you okay? Yeah, all right. All right, I'll see you, you know. And I got on the next out of town. Well, I was leaving that day anyhow, but it was very difficult. I had to go to the airport right away in order to be able to get out. So, you know, scary shit. Earthquakes are not fun, folks. They come and they go very fast. The deal with where I live is when we lived up on the 10th floor, there was an earthquake one evening that knocked stuff off my, I don't know what you call it, the shelf at the end of the bed. It knocked stuff down and whatnot. The lamps were going like this, floor lamps and stuff like that. My fan was there, and it was going back and forth like that, and it scared the fuck out of me. And I was ready to, heading for the door. Then I could do that, not now. I just sit there and say, fuck it. But anyhow, you got to talk to people later. And I said, did you see your furniture? No, because they lived on the first floor. I lived on the 11th floor. The higher you went, the worse the earthquake, the worse the reaction was, because the building was going like this. It was going back and forth like this. Okay, so if you were down here, you were getting a little of this. If you were up here, you were getting this. Yeah. Very strange. Now I live on the 4th floor, and people say, you feel the earthquake? What earthquake? I don't feel anything anymore, I'd rather feel it, know it's coming, than not know it's coming and end up in a pile of shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's go to that earthquake. Then there's 146 dead, something like 960 something people injured so far. They expected the injured to be in the thousands. I don't know. Where it is, I don't know how many people. It was in Caracas, so I don't know how many people were actually. They know if anybody was hurt. That was pretty fast to come up with a number of 164 the next day. I mean, that was pretty good. But I said it was a 7.3 followed by a 7.5, and the time was 1 minute between the quakes. And the fact that it moved 26 kilometers east was a highly unusual event. Not a never happened event, just a highly irregular event, which is, that scares the shit out of me too, because I like things to be regular, because when I get irregular, I mean, I usually have to clean my underwear off, I don't know. But I feel bad for the people over there. I didn't see any of the dog walkers today. They all live in Venezuela. They were all from Venezuela, so I don't know. I wanted to ask them how their families were and everything, and I didn't get a chance to do that because I didn't see them. It's uh, it's. I hope they're all right. That's all I got to say. I hope anybody that I know over there is all right. People that I don't know is okay too. I just Mother Nature's a bitch when she gets pissed. I'll tell you that. All right. A lawsuit was thrown out by the Supreme Court. This gentleman that claimed he got cancer from Roundup. There's been a lot of evidence saying that it contains carcinogens and that you can get cancer from it. But I guess I don't know how they decided this guy didn't get it. But the Supreme Court walks around with their hands like this, looking for bribes now. They're not an ethical group of individuals anymore. They're a group of bribe accepting assholes. I say that right? Okay. Because these big chemical companies have billions of dollars to throw around like that, and they maybe a judge makes $1 million a year. I don't think they do, but maybe they make a great living, and they don't pay for anything when they go into the businesses around Washington D.C. and everything like that. So they like to make a little extra change every once in a while. So they got their hands out. Justice Thomas is the big one. That guy should never have gotten in. He got in, and he's done nothing but steal since he's got in, and nobody has the balls to take this guy on. And I don't know why. I don't know any lawyers anymore, so most of my friends that were lawyers have passed on. I'm the oldest one of my oldest one. You know what I'm saying? So that's a disappointment. I don't know whether it affects any other lawsuits or not. It depends on the issues that were brought up by it. Trump's getting his immigration issues solved. He's going to start deporting people again, and taking asylum away from them. Good time for that to happen when when the country next door to me is devastated, and a country that he now thinks he runs and owns. He won't help them. He's a besides being a closet gay, child abusing prick, he's got no morals. He's got no courage. He's got no plans for anything. I mean, he's the most unprepared president in the history of America. He is guided by whims. If he wakes up and he feels like he wants to do something that day, he does it, whether you like it or not. There was a cartoon today that had Nixon and Trump next to each other. Nixon's going, "I'm not a crook," and Trump's going, "I am a crook. So what are you going to do?" And they're doing nothing about it, which is very, very, very surprising. Because they're all crooks. You see, this is what I kept trying to tell everybody. I don't like politicians, and I didn't want to be involved in politics when I was involved in it because they're all crooks. They're smart crooks. So it's hard to prove it. It's hard to bring them into court and get it done. Because you disrupt a lot of legislation. A lot of people get hurt when you just go after them. But I don't care anymore. I wouldn't care anymore if I was in the United States. I'd want people to go after them because they're a bunch of low-life scumbags, and you need to get rid of the politicians. The whole system needs to be cleansed, not gotten rid of, cleansed. So we can maybe get something going there. I don't know. Like my new watch, very difficult to read, very strange. You gotta push a button on the back of the watch to get a reading on something. Um, but that's the way it goes sometimes, you know. All right, I guess this continues my tirade against politicians. I believe the Senate is made up of a bunch of chicken shit people, you know. They got no balls to stand up to Trump. When they do, they apologize, you know, and they try to take it back, you know. And they realize what they don't realize is that sooner or later, um, people are gonna start noticing that stuff, you know, that they're playing these weird games that they're playing, you know, and they're gonna do something about it. It's just you know, that's another. It's a part of democracy that needs to be overhauled. And when I say overhauled, I'm not so sure they need to change rules and stuff like that, because I'm not sure exactly what the rules are. But I would say that number one, they need to enforce the rules that are there, and they need to get rid of a lot of the people that are in there, the Senate and the House, Democrats and Republicans. Don't go up and say, you know, the Republicans are a bunch of thieves because the Democrats have their own problems with that, you know? It's just that right now it's more popular to say the Republicans because the Republicans are Donald Trump. And nobody likes Trumpy. You know, he's actually doing, by being around, he actually does the Democrats a favor. They might actually come back into power. And I'm not so sure I would want to be in power, because I think that's not a great place to be, because you see, when you go up, you have to remember, when you're up here, you can always go down here. It's very difficult when you reach the epitome of, like, the president. The president's useless pretty much useless after he gets out of office. And I think that would probably is what drives Obama to go out and do his speaking engagements and whatnot, because I think, number one, he's bored. Number two, he doesn't like what he sees, but he knows there's nothing he can really do about it. You know, if he was president, he would do a lot, but he can't do anything about it now. Trump is still building his wall that Mexico's not paying for, by the way. The United States is paying for it. They're seizing land now along the border. That's going to piss off a lot of people in Arizona and Texas, because they don't like fences, especially Texans. They're not real big on fencing by other people. So here was something somebody brought up this morning. You know, am I boring you guys? Tough shit. Go to another channel. Anyhow, I can't do anything. I can't. It's difficult for me to say, well, let me talk about wood carving, or should I talk about sports? You know, I don't know enough about the soccer, and I'd upset everybody if I start talking about it, because I think that's a very dishonest sport right now, since it's everything about it is being sponsored. And same with American football; it's being sponsored by gambling consortiums. So, you know, anytime they get involved, I don't trust the sport anymore. So, and I love football, I just don't trust it anymore. Anyhow, the deal that came up is. Oh, here, let's start off with this first. When a forest burns to the ground, there's a large forest fire. The first thing a forest does is produce flowers. Did you know that? I think that's I know that supposedly after a forest fire, the ground is richer. The soil becomes richer if it's not eroded. You know, the usual thing that happens is it's eroded because there's nothing to hold the water there anymore, you know. But flowers do come out first. I think that's the coolest thing I've ever read. That you know, I don't know whether they're coming out because the forest is sad or because it's just rejuvenating. Oh well. The, the other story I had that people are pissed off about is it appears that Trump is celebrating himself rather than the 250th anniversary of the United States, and I believe that's true because he's a narcissistic asshole who doesn't care about anything. And I don't understand why he believes that they're going to leave his name up after he's gone. You'd be lucky if the buildings are still standing. All right, listen up. That's it for me today. It's Thursday. Weekend's coming up for you working stiffs. I don't work anymore, so haven't worked in 20 years. So that's the problem with living a long time, man. You got to work a long time, and I didn't work a long time, and I think that was a mistake on my part. But anyhow, this is I'll be back tomorrow. Don't know what we'll talk about. We'll see how people are handling the earthquake, I guess. I hope everybody I know is all right. I mean, their families. I don't know anybody in Venezuela. At least I don't think I do. In this day and age, excuse me, it's difficult to know whether you know somebody someplace or not because you're talking to a lot of people on the internet, Anyhow, that's it for me today, Thursday, the 25th of June. I will be back tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Meantime, take care, subscribe to the station, and have a lovely day. Okay?